Can you just read that number?
3,500 PSI.
That's insane. Yeah.
Oh,
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah, I almost just cursed autonomically. That's in 3,500 PSI.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, Adam Savage and I am at the Smithsonian Udvar-hazy Center in the Mary Baker shop, Hangar with
Yes.
Bridget Clark, museum specialist, yes?
Yes.
Tell me what museum specialist means.
It's kind of an umbrella position that we essentially handle and care for the collection.
Okay.
Yeah, so we are specialists in the collection and are entrusted with making sure it's protected and handled with care.
Now you were telling me that this position is a bit of a unicorn at the Smithsonian.
Yes, here specifically in PRU. So
Okay.
I'm part of the preservation and restoration shop. So here in the hangar, we work on the large artifacts. So that is anything from, large engines to aircraft, a lot of space objects. And yeah, we're kind of an anomaly in the museum world.
How so?
Because a lot of the times there's no differential between preservation and restoration and conservation. So we have a separate group of folks here at Hazy that work in strictly conservation
Just
focused
about the
work.
long lifespan
Yeah.
of the object.
Absolutely.
Not just ceasing its deterioration.
Correct.
Okay.
And we do a lot of collaboration, our teams together, to really make sure that we're doing the best for the artifact, longevity-wise, and just for the immediate treatment and safety of the objects.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is one of your projects behind us here. This is one of the shuttle engines.
Yes,
okay.
yes,
So there
yes.
were 3 of these in the shuttle.
Correct.
Okay,
At one time.
Gotcha. Right, at one time.
Yes, it is wild. It is, as you can see, it is massive. It is 15,000 pounds, including the stand.
Take out of Earth's gravity well?
This specific object is really amazing because this engine is made from used parts and brand new parts.
Oh, wow.
So there are some parts on here that have been used and have gone to space and come back, which is pretty amazing. But then that also enters another factor into its treatment and conditions needed to take care of it and make sure that there is specific conservation happening and that metals are not deteriorating and corroding and oxidizing too heavily.
And they could corrode and oxidize just from the actual original fluids that were running through them.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure. And then not only that, everything that those pieces have come in contact with actually being utilized, that's a massive amount of heat that those metals are going through that then also affects the brand new pieces that then are attached to this object.
Oh, wow. I believe I understand that these ridges inside are part of the engine's cooling system.
Correct.
Am I correct?
Yes.
So every single ridge is actually
It's like a radiator.
A tube through which a super cooled liquid is going through.
Yes.
LOX or liquid nitrogen? Or?
Liquid nitrogen,
Okay.
I believe.
That's astounding to me that this is a radiator.
Yes, and this is hollow. So this is all hollow.
All of it is hollow, all the way up.
Yeah, it's all that almost like honeycombing kind of.
Right.
Yeah.
And
it's
so
really cool.
What's eventually going to be the rocket fuel propellant is running through here, keeping it underneath its melting point. To me,
well, and
seems
this
completely-
is the exhaust,
Right.
So on top of it, you're getting an extreme amount of heat coming out of there too, which is insane. Yeah.
You want to walk me around and tell me
Sure.
some of the stuff you have found most amazing about this?
Yeah, this object it's just crazy. This one specifically because, like I said, part of the pieces have been used and part of them are brand new.
Yeah.
So you'll see different things like on the side here, there's some grounded welds here. There's some more here where they have changed different things going on, whether it's they edited something,
Oh, really?
removed something.
So these
Yeah.
grind marks are actually evidence of a modification of the original bell?
It could be,
Yeah.
or it could just be something might have gotten on there, whatever. We found a lot of oxidation happening in these areas, kind of maybe where some areas were nixed, some welds were different, like nixed by this removal of the material. So it could be a number of things going on. You'll see some scratches around that are actually places where they might have moved pipes.
Like you can see the improvisation despite its
Yeah,
how
or just
massive
like
it
we
is.
need this to operate in a different function. So that's what we do.
So
And
this sort of is almost like a palimpsest that shows you all the different types of engineering that occur to an object over its lifespan.
Absolutely. And like what that, I'm sure there's metal fatigue that's happening that they need to take into consideration if they're starting to move things and it needs to be reused or replaced or whatever. It's like all of these things are, not being a rocket scientist, I don't know exactly what they're thinking, but those are things I'm sure they're having to take into consideration when they're reusing these objects.
Here in this shop, I mean, I would imagine there's all sorts of different fluids and oils running through different parts of this engine. Do you guys do the flushing here?
Oh, no. We do not receive anything that has fluids in it. We always
Gotcha.
ask for them to be drained. And a lot of the times, I mean, we do, like, sometimes when we get airplanes in that have just been flown in,
Right.
we will do it outside, but we
Sure.
usually do it with the, whoever has donated the object with them, or
Right.
we've come up with a protocol, or there's something that's already been talked about that there is a, hazardous waste material, pickup / operations on how to get that out.
But even if it's been removed, there's still maybe residue
Sure,
that you guys have to
absolutely.
deal with. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so do you end up like flushing these with ISO or some type of...
No, no. A lot of the times we don't. A lot of the times what it is, because a lot of the times that puts more pressure on the system than you would really think.
I see.
So flushing it is doing another function,
It's adding another variable that could lead to more deterioration where you don't expect.
Yeah, or just more stress.
Okay.
You're stressing out the object even more, and the whole point is to really not do that. That's literally my job, is to like, how do we de-stress this object so, Earth's time takes less on it.
So I know for me, when I'm working on a project, there's an initial part where I'm sort of putting the project into my head,
Yes.
layering it in until
Yeah.
I can kind of grasp the entirety.
Sure.
It sounds to me like you're doing the same thing with an object like this. You're trying to figure out where its problem areas will be, where it's been stressed, where it might end up being stressed.
Yes, absolutely. So that is a lot of documentation. That is a lot of, we have TMS, which is our museum system, which is a database of all of the objects that we have. So we're doing research on that. We have looking at old documents, speaking to coworkers who have worked on the object before. All of these things are coming into play before we even put hands on the object, and coming up with the plans, speaking to the curators, talking to the curators, collaborating with them as to what it is that they would like to see and what we can provide or what is best for the object. And so all of those things are being taken into consideration before we even touch the object.
How long has this been here being worked on?
This is its third month.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so did it arrive in a state that looks vastly different from what I'm seeing
Yes,
now?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Did it look much dirtier, much
Yes.
more? Okay, so
Yeah.
you guys have been going through...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
what is the first pass? Is it like Q-tips and distilled water?
No. Not with this hefty of an object. There's a lot of inner workings in here. And so, though that is kind of, you think about it and you're like, oh, well, it's dust. It's like, okay, what are you dusting off objects? Yes. But then you also have to understand that dust collects moisture. So dust is something that will bind with moisture molecules, and then it'll bring even more moisture to the object, which is not what we want to do at all. So even though it sounds like a very minuscule thing to do, which, everybody dusts stuff all the time.
Yeah.
But it is super important on objects like this, which you have a significant amount of metal. And there's a lot of different types of alloys. And the ages of the alloys are also different.
Right.
And what they have been through has been very different. So-
all of the red tie downs look
Yes.
in really good shape. Are those replacements?
a lot of them are,
Yeah.
but a lot of them, I think that if you can see, they're also coated.
Right.
So
So each one is coated for its
They look like they
location.
have some clear silicone also on top of them.
Okay.
So some of them don't on the inner guts here, but yes, some of them have some clear silicone. So there is I think a lot of them have been replaced, but I feel like some of them that I've seen further inside the machine look pretty much
Brand new.
original.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Do you guys end up also replacing a lot of these tubes, these shielded tubes? and
No,
things?
not at
Yeah?
all.
Okay.
So this object is, we kind of have handled a bit of a different approach because there's no way you're going to stop oxidation. It's just not physically possible unless you put this in an airtight.
So it's all a compromise.
Yeah, what you're doing is working with what you have and within the confines of what it's going to live in. No environment is perfect, and even though that's a great expectation, it's not the reality.
Yeah.
So we have to, even just breathing, you bring moisture into it. So you just really have to take all these things into consideration when you're trying to do the best by the object, and then also not put it under stress. So then that also means, we're removing oxidation. And are we going to completely eradicate this? Absolutely not.
Right.
But at this moment in time, with the time that we have and with what we can do, we can understand how fast it's happening, where it's happening, what kind of oxidation is happening. We can note those things. We can watch the patterns and see, is it moving? Is it getting worse?
Oh my God, amazing.
And then we kind of take care of it like it's an aging animal.
Right. And you're not going to stop the aging process, but
Correct.
you can slow it way down
and
make it comfortable.
Yes, and mitigate it to the best
Right.
ability, for sure. So that's kind of this object, because there's so many
so many facets.
so many plugs,
I mean,
so many hoses, so many folds,
but
so
after
many
3
welds.
months, you must have this mostly kind of in your body.
As to where things are.
As to where things are in its layout?
Yes. If I'm here. So it's hilarious. Like, I'll be like, oh, I have to, to one of my work colleagues in conservation, I'll be like, oh, I need to show you this photo I found, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, okay. So I show her a photo and she's like, where is that? And I'm like, I can't describe it. I have to show you where it is. This photo is not telling me anything, but if we go to the object, I can show you
exactly
where it is.
I find these what look like turbo drives back here.
Yes, that's what they are.
And is this part of the
there's an
display
intake
that it's clear that we
Correct.
can see that?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
so that's
yes.
one of the things you guys did.
Yes.
Took off a metal cover so that we can see inside. And then
Yes.
you went and did authentic wire wrapping.
Yes, for any shaking. It will get shaken. I mean, as it moves, going downtown, it will shake. Those are all things that have to be taken into consideration.
So when you guys are doing this wire wrapping, I'm assuming that has a really specific protocol within the engineering discipline. And you guys look up that spec and replicate.
For sure.
Amazing.
Yes, that also means how many twists every...
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
for
amazing.
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
I find when I look at stuff like this, I always think about somebody went to work every day for 5 years and this assembly was their whole life.
I mean, it could have even just been this.
Right.
Yes.
Is there a part you have grown to have a really deep affection for on this thing? Some aspect?
That's kind of tough. It's really wild. So one thing that I thought was really interesting about this object, except for there's corrosion everywhere. It was hilarious. When I first started this project, everybody was like, it just looks like it needs to be clean. And I was like, you need a flashlight because there is actually a significant amount of stuff going on in here.
Wow.
And so that is very true. It's like you can look at this right now and think, wow, it literally looks pristine.
It looks gorgeous.
Yeah. And you put a flashlight on things and you're like, wow.
It still needs a ton.
It needs some care, continuous care and love to keep it from that oxidation and corrosion happening. I can't say that there's a specific part, except for the fact that watching the wires and looking at the tubing.
Yeah.
And the thing that really got me is that if you look at some of the tubing, which I'm sure you'll see, is there's notes on all of them as to what it is that it's holding.
3,500 PSI.
That's insane.
That's given that this is a line.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yep.
7,000 PSI.
And it's a smaller hose.
Oh,
that
Lord.
stuff is insane.
That's a welded joint
Yep.
to 3,000. That's insanity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
it's
my gosh.
just...
So every label reveals the extreme aspect of this.
Yeah.
Just 500 PSI.
Yeah, I know.
What a small thing.
And the hose is significantly bigger. I don't understand. It's just... So those are the things where when I would be working on this object, which there's been many tedious points, sticking my hands into spots where I'm just like...
Oh, you must have some of the employees with tiny hands need to help for the small.
Yes, yeah, or bodies or arms.
Right.
Yes, for sure.
5,400 PSI on this giant line.
Yeah. It's just insane.
I have never in my life worked with anything.
Yeah, I mean, look at this one. This one's 500, and it's what, a quarter of an inch?
Does this give you a sense of the sheer volume of human brain power and ingenuity?
It's amazing. I really get enamored about space objects constantly because it really forces you to stop thinking the way you do every day.
How
And
so? Like we're thinking too small?
You're thinking too Earth.
Huh.
You know, you're thinking too Earth, which is really cool. I mean, this planet is absolutely amazing. Like, I can't even tell you how much I love this Earth, as we all should.
Yeah.
But when you look at these objects, they're not meant to be in Earth's gravity.
Right, their home is out.
Yeah.
They're meant to escape.
They're designed by people who are thinking in a completely different landscape, which is like, so when we hang objects that are space objects, when we fix objects that are space objects, when, you know, curators want a specific display with a space object to show, you know, its beautiful abundance that it is, you know, we have to realize, like, we can't think about this object the way that you normally do, like an airplane, because it is not meant to be in gravity. So what you think is going to happen, or what you think might happen, probably is not going to happen.
And all from an engineering standpoint, once you leave Earth's gravity well, everything gets exponentially harder. Metals weld against each other. They expand and contract at radically different rates.
Completely different rates.
The heat and cold that this is encompassing, both within and without Earth's gravity well, is gobsmacked.
Well, and can you think about the fact that, like, even this bell is hitting so much heat, but then also so much cold at the same time, and it's like
less than a millimeter apart.
Yeah. And it's just like, for like that energy right next to each other must be insane. Yeah.
Bridget, this has been so inspiring.
Sure.
And now I'm curious about why this bend is in this tube.
Exactly. And it's like, you know, and something was there.
Something was there. They realized we need a bend. We need to somehow slow down the fluid.
Yes. I know.
I have so many questions.
Why this tiny little one?
Yeah, what's that one for?
And then what happened here? Yeah, you can do this all day, actually for literal weeks.